Hi, class. Today we're going to continue reading our text, The Keeping Quilt. And the last place we left off, the new baby Mary Ellen was born. Today we're going to be continuing to read, starting with page 14 all the way to the end of the book, and we're going to be focusing on the family member Patricia, who you might remember is actually the author of our book. Mary Ellen called Anna Lady Grandma. She had grown very old and was sick a lot of the time. The quilt kept her legs warm. On Anna's 98th birthday, the cake was a caloche, a rich cake with raisins and candied fruit on it. When Great-Grandma Anna died, prayers were said to lift her soul to heaven. My mother, Mary Ellen, was now a grown-up. So again, we're seeing the keeping quilt being used. A lot of sad relatives. When Mary Ellen left home, she took the quilt with her. When she became a bride, the quilt became her hubba. For the first time, friends who were not Jews came to the wedding. My mother wore a suit, but in her bouquet were gold, bread, and salt. And like we said, that must be another tradition. The quilt welcomed me, Patricia, into the world. So there's our author, Patricia, as a baby. And again, we're seeing them using the same keeping quilt. And it was a tablecloth for my first birthday party. There she is. At night, I would trace my fingers around the edges of each animal on the quilt before I went to sleep. I told my mother stories about the animals on the quilt, and she told me whose sleeve had made the horse, whose apron had made the chicken, whose dress had made the flowers, and whose babushka went around the edge of the quilt. And we know that was Great-Grandma Anna. The quilt was a pretend cape when I was in the bull ring, or sometimes a tent in the steaming Amazon jungle. So now we're seeing our friend Patricia here actually using it to play with. So that's something that's kind of new. At my wedding to Enzo Mario, men and women danced together. In my bouquet were gold, bread, and salt, and a sprinkle of wine, so I would always know laughter. So it's a little different. We have men and women dancing together this time, which before that wasn't done, but there are some things that they're keeping the same. For example, there's the huppa, and in her bouquet, she has the bread, the salt, and the gold. 20 years ago, I held Tracy Denise in the quilt for the first time. Someday, she too will leave home, and she will take the quilt with her. So I'm wondering who that baby might be. I hope you guys enjoyed this story and the ending of the story. It was a nice surprise to have the author actually put herself in the book. Today, for your question, I want you to write, how did Patricia use the quilt? And remember, she's actually our author. Enjoy.